Hello guys, welcome to Cinema Ultimate. In this video, we would like to review the Marksman 2021, which is an action genre. This movie directed by Robert Lorenz and starring Liam Neeson. At this time, we will discuss the film The Marksman, which tells the story of the action of an old American retired Marine who protects an illegal refugee kid from Mexico who is involved in a problem with the Mafia on the Arizona-Mexico border. And let me see the following storyline. The film begins when a mother named Rosa gets a call from her brother to immediately leave the house because her brother has been chased by a cartel gang, and Rosa is getting ready to go with her son named Miguel. Elsewhere, there is an old man who lives in the Arizona-Mexico border area. It's Jim Henson, a Marine veteran. He lives alone because his wife has died of cancer. But he has a daughter from his wife named Sarah. She is an officer border patrol, which watch for any immigrants who may enter from neighbor countries. And now Jim works to help with border patrols, all the while hunting with animals. Back to Rosa, who was running away with her son Miguel across the border, with a man helping to point the way as a guide. But the man fled because he saw a cartel gang chasing them. Rosa and her son ran to find a hole to get out of the place. But in the middle of their escape, they met Jim, who was on patrol. Jim immediately went down and contacted the local patrol section, and Jim was approached by a cartel gang who was chasing Rosa and her child. They asked Jim to let them go. Jim refused, and a shootout ensued between them. Jim immediately refused off with Rosa and her child. But unexpectedly, Rosa was shot in the stomach. Rosa asked Jim to take her son to her cousin's address in Chicago on a piece of paper she gave him, and Rosa is dead. Jim immediately called the patrol officer where Sarah worked and handed over Rosa and her child. The next day, Jim saw Sarah's bag that was left in his car, and he saw a lot of money in her bag. Jim returned to the police station and asked the officer where Miguel, Rosa's son, was. However, the officer informed him that Miguel would be deported to Mexico and his relatives were waiting for him, and Jim insisted of seeing him. After being allowed, Jim refused to invite Miguel to immediately leave the place quietly by dealing with his officer. Jim went to his house with Miguel to pick up some clothes to take with him over the trip. However, Miguel instead tried to run away. Jim soon found it, and they immediately rushed toward Chicago. The scene changed when the cartel gang enters the border and is under investigation, but it turns out that they can get through it because they are using someone else's passport. We could guess that border officer had been bribed before, so they can easily to get past, and they walked to Jim's house. When they got to Jim's house, they searched all the house and burned Jim's house. The scene changed when Jim buys a road map to go to Chicago. But the cartel gang tracks Jim from Jim's car transaction at the gas station, and they immediately follow him to the gas station. When they go there, Jim and Miguel were gone, so they killed the cashier at the gas station because they thought she had responded badly. Scene moved. Jim and Miguel arrive in Chicago. But on the way, suddenly the police follow him and interrogate him. Jim was handcuffed and taken to a police car with the excuse that he would interrogate the child in his car. But the police lied. He actually called the cartel gang instead of interrogating the child, until finally Jim became suspicious and found with the police. After that, they rushed away from the place so as not to meet the cartel members. Sure enough, the cartel members came and asked the police and killed him. Jim and Miguel set off to continue their journey, then looked for a place to stay. The next day, Jim trains Miguel with a shot, and James is pleased that Miguel has talent. Scene change. The cartel gang who were chasing Jim and Miguel got information that Jim was at 209 kilometers. They immediately followed him and Jim saw them. Jim immediately drove his car faster, but the car was no longer strong. So Jim had to get down to start taking action to kill them one by one. Until when Miguel was caught by Mauricio, who was in a haystack. Jim immediately gave Mauricio a fight until Mauricio lost, and Jim gave choice with a shot, but Mauricio finished himself. The film closed when Jim succeeds to take Miguel to the destination requested by Miguel's mother, cousins in Chicago. Then Jim came home on the bus with a pale face and a body that had been shot, and the film is over. Okay guys, if you like our channel, support us by subscribing and turning on the bell button, like, comment and share, so that you don't miss our next video and our channel can grow even more. See you guys.